What is up, guys? Matthew here, and welcome to the season finale of Season 2 here in our FIFA 21 Manager Career Mode with the mighty Boro. And we've got a lot to get through in today's season finale. We've got the final 4 games of the season. That's right, we're going to be playing 4 games as opposed to 3. We've also got a lot of contracts to negotiate with a lot of our big players. So, yeah, quite a lot to get on with. Luckily, we did quite a lot of scout work in the live stream that I did last night. So a huge thank you to everyone who joined me in that live stream. We had loads of fun. We literally, I think together we must have scouted around 20 players that we've added to the shortlist that are currently being scouted. So thanks to you guys, I've got so many options for the summer to hopefully make us an even stronger squad than what we already are, and a squad that will hopefully push for Europe. That is the goal, of course. We came close. We lost the FA Cup semi-final to Arsenal on penalties in the last episode of the stream last night, which was heartbreaking. But we'll try and go one better next year and get European football by finishing in the top 6, hopefully. Or, of course, if we can do it via one of the domestic cups, that would be awesome as well. So, yeah, what we're going to do, first of all, I don't want to just start the episode with an absolute ton of contracts. So I think what we'll do is we'll play a couple of games, then we'll do the contracts, and then we'll do the others. So we'll do 2 games, Liverpool, Burnley, then we'll sort all the contracts out in between, and then we'll do the other 2 games, Everton and Norwich. That seems like the best thing to do. But I mean, yeah, this is just an episode where we're just going to be finishing the season, and we've got nothing to play for now. I don't think, well, we mathematically can catch Wolves, but we won't catch them. So we're going to be sort of, I'd like to think between 8th and 10th, hopefully that's where we'll finish. But yeah, European football's not to play for. We are unbelievably clear of the drop, and we're out of the cups now. So yeah, it's just a case of finishing off the season, and hopefully finishing off strong. Keeping the players fit, keeping them happy, getting some goals, and just gearing up for next season. So as for the team, I'm going to let Ings start once again. We have had Origi in for a few games. We'll put Ings back in. And I've enjoyed playing Morsey alongside McNair recently, to be fair. I've really enjoyed playing Morsey there. I'm going to swap him with McNair, actually, so Morsey's the one sitting. And Paddy can maybe go forward a bit more. But the rest of the team picks itself pretty much. So yeah, let's get the first game underway, and it is at home to the, well, former champions. They're only 4th in the league at the minute. They're having a bit of a torrid time in FIFA, like they are in real life. Let's host the team we went to Anfield and beat 1-0. Let's play Liverpool.
See some entertainment. Well, who will be the player to decide the outcome, to determine the course of events? No reason at all why it won't be this man.
Well, Roberts has still got something to play for.
From him. He's on the
top of the assist charts. So,
absolutely phenomenal.
What do you get for being the top assister? Do you get the golden shoe? I don't know. Because I know they get the golden boot, the golden glove. I don't know what the top assister gets, but Roberts is in the race. And if Ings can maybe grab a miraculous hat-trick or something before the end of the season, he maybe could get the golden boot as well. I haven't actually checked that side of things too often with the stats and stuff. Where we are with Bettinelli and clean sheets and stuff like that, so.
And this is how Liverpool start the game. Alisson begins in goal.
Liverpool, that's pretty much their strongest team. An unbelievable midfield and the vintage front 3. I mean, you look at the bench as well. How we beat these at Anfield is beyond me. What a result that was. Probably the result of the season when we look back. And, well, can we do the double on Liverpool? Wouldn't that be something? We've basically got nothing to play for the rest of the season, so we might as well just enjoy it, express ourselves, show no fear, and get as far up the table as possible. I'm going to assume that the higher you finish, the more money you get, if that's a thing. That's how it works. If that's the case, then it's definitely worth getting as high as we can in the table. Because the more transfer funds we have in the summer, the better. Keep them on the edge of the box. I'll be happy with that. Don't let them front three get anywhere near. And Paddy McNair has waited patiently and timed his tackle to perfection. And Andy Robertson has left acres of space in behind. And we know what happens when Hudson-Odoi gets in behind. Good save from Alisson. Tell you what, I can never say his name. That Upham McCall, whatever that other centre-back's name. He is quick. He's very quick. So it was always going to be a tough ask for Hudson-Odoi to score from that far out against Alisson. Cross comes in, Ings goes up against his former club. Volleyed in, and it's hit Ings. I think it was volleyed back in by Hudson-Odoi. I don't know if it was going in, but it was actually blocked by Ings, who was on the floor at the time. That would be unlucky if that was going in, but I don't think it was. As Liverpool now come forward the other way. Mane. And there is Sam Morsey with some great defensive work. And I tell you what, Andy Robertson's going to have to keep looking over his shoulder if he wants to keep leaving Hudson-Odoi with this much room. The cross is blocked by Virgil van Dijk.
Well done indeed. He'll be hoping his team does the business here on the pitch today so he can go off and have a good old celebration tonight.
Wow, our 100th game as Boro boss. I didn't know that. Even more of a reason to celebrate with a win. Started well though. Hudson-Odoi whips this in. Paddy McNair with the header. Wasn't far away.
Well, it was definitely worth the chance. Just got the technique a little bit off.
He caught that really well, Paddy.
Well, that's the frustration of a manager right there. Watching his players come so fans will be too happy with this performance.
Here is Thiago. Stood still on the edge of the area, and that just allowed Grant Hall to just waltz in and pick up the ball. And here we go again, Hudson-Odoi. Andy Robertson has not took care of Hudson-Odoi at all, who's in, and Hudson-Odoi gives us the lead. And well, they should have seen this coming. Robertson has committed himself time and time again. But we've been so good on the edge of our box, picking off Liverpool. And, well, that's the man you want, running at their back four. And I'm sorry to Jurgen Klopp, but I know he loves getting his full-backs forward, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, but players like Hudson-Odoi are going to relish the space in behind. I'm not going to jinx it quite yet because it's not the end of the first half, but this has been probably the best all-round 37 minutes of football we've played in a long time. Liverpool have been... Well, there's Ings now with a tackle on Salah. That we've stifled Liverpool. But we know that they have the best players in the world and can create something from absolutely nothing. But there's Paddy McNair cutting out. And look at this again. Hudson-Odoi. If Ings can find him, Hudson-Odoi might make Liverpool pay for a second time. Oh, just puts it wide. What a ball from Ings. Angle was a bit tight at that time, but he wasn't far away. Hudson-Odoi. Firmino loses out again. Although McNair can't thread it through. And they're in behind, but Salah has give it straight to... Well, he's give it straight back to us. Gibbo's then said, Salah, have another goal. Luckily, the ball in wasn't a good one. And I think this might be it for half-time. Can Liverpool get one more chance? Alexander-Arnold. We are stretched here with Firmino! And it only takes one chance for Liverpool. I'd have loved to have gone in to the half-time break 1-0 up, but unfortunately, Liverpool's quality has shone through and Gibbo just got dragged out. Hall was not in a good position. Yeah, that's the first time our defence has been out of shape. And when you play a team as good as this, you're gonna pay the price.
happy times are back. The coach is
I think
full of
Liverpool will be
delight.
delighted to go in at half-time level because it's a game which we've been the better team. But they do level the scoring, and it's 1-1. And they're trying to switch that, but Roberts was in the way. Bolassi's got a great run in between the defenders here, and, well, trying to run between them two centre-backs is always a tough task because they both seem quick and strong. Bolassi had a tough job on his hands there. Alexander-Arnold plays it into Fabinho. Where's Fabinho going to go with this? Salah. Fabinho, good play this from Liverpool. Oh, that is terrible defending, boys. For all the good work we've done in this game, Thiago's got the freedom of the box. Well, I've got no words for the defending there. Absolutely no words. And I don't think we deserve this. But when you defend like this against Liverpool, I mean, Gibson's nowhere. Hall is just absolutely miles away from Thiago. I just need to improve our defence. We really do need to improve and get a good centre-back in. Alongside probably Dale Fry next season when he's fit again. And, well, they've had 2 attacks, Liverpool, and they've scored from both of them. And that's bitterly disappointing.
On they go again. Will there be a quick response from Boro? There needs to be.
54 minutes, please. 2-0.
Roberts. Balassi. Ings is not even in the box, although he's got to run on the defender. Great run from Danny Ings, but the header is a really poor one from a player of his quality.
Well, Derek, the stats don't lie.
He did have...
Surely with that creativity.
I know he had Van Dijk on his back, but Ings should do better there. Here he is again. Can he play through Balassi? Not quite. As you can see, though, we've had miles more shots and deserve to be at least level in this game. As it happens, we're behind. Here's Zerki. I don't know who he is, but he's a big central attacking midfielder. Salah. Gibbo stood up well there. Didn't commit himself. Coulson's got some room to run into as the Boro crowd are once again urging the players on. Roberts. Great find. Balassi. Danny Ings against his former club. Makes it 2-2. He will enjoy that, will Danny Ings. And I think we deserve that equaliser.
Well, here's the replay, and as we see,
great find from Roberts. I don't know where Van Dijk is, but Danny Ings makes no mistake. And that is the least I think we deserve in this game. We level it up at 2-2. His 16th goal of the season. And as one former Liverpool striker gets on the score sheet, another one is going to come on for his first appearance since leaving. Divock Origi will also look to get a goal against the team who he left to come here. 2-2. But this has been a really good game, really competitive. Two teams who I think have matched each other up pretty well. We've played really well in this game. Oxlade-Chamberlain finds Thiago. Origi forces him to play it back. Salah. Thiago. Good ball in. Coulson gets his head on that. Thiago's here again. Salah. Oh, and a very good interception from Spence. And Saville can't get the ball out soon enough. And they might have a shot off here if they can get in the box, but Grant Hall reads that really well. And just gets rid of it. Liverpool are just starting to turn the screw here. Look like they're going to be the most likely to score. Salah. Mane. Trying to get the better of Ben Gibson. But he can't. Gibbo has stood up strong there and done really well. It's a good ball out to Ings. And Saville just can't quite latch on to that. That was a big opportunity. to counter-attack. Here's Tmiskas. Morsey's going to follow him all the way. And Morsey with a great tackle. He's been immense. There's Sam Morsey. Although Mane is in a bit of space. Shot from Oxlade-Chamberlain, and it's just wide.
Yeah, narrowly wide, Derek. Decent effort.
Was not far away. Bettinelli would have been nowhere near it. Unless we can get one final attack going here, I think it is going to be a point at home to Liverpool, which I will be more than happy with, although Saville has found Yannick Bolasie. Origi's at the back post, blocked though by Upamecano. And that should be that. A really good competitive game. We've played really well, and that's a good draw at home to Liverpool.
What did you think of it?
Well, Derek, they will be very upset with themselves, I can tell you that. But not as upset as the manager will be with them. He knows.
Can't argue with that performance one bit. And, well, we dominated them in every department. Of course, possession we weren't expecting to, but yeah, good game for us. So we've just had an email in to say that Origi's loan's about to expire, which we know of. He's due to return to his parent club unless we decide to open discussions about signing him. In the loan agreement, we included an option to buy with a fee of 18, which we have. They want us to go through with the option to buy, which we will. But when I'm clicking on the the player, there's no option to then purchase the player. I don't know if we can't do that until the very end of his loan. The only option we have is to terminate his loan, which we don't want to do. So I'm a bit, obviously it's a new feature this year, the loan to buy. So I'm not 100% sure how it's worked, how it's working. Hopefully we can get that sorted. We have a transfer offer for Ashley Fletcher. Once again, Conor Malley, he's starting to do my head in, to be fair. We'll get to it soon enough. Just get off my back. We have a transfer offer for Ashley Fletcher for the end of the season. LOSC have expressed interest. Not the highest offer that we've had for him. He's obviously unhappy. I mean, it's a decent offer for Fletcher, I'm not going to lie. It would definitely help the transfer fund as well. Well, that's if... Obviously, I don't know if the transfer fund gets recreated at the end of the season. I don't know if we're best waiting until the start of next season. It depends when it goes through. But they've offered 6.9. We've been advised that we should go somewhere between 5.1 and 7.5. So there's a bit of room to manoeuvre. But Fletcher's unhappy, and we've got Origi, we've got Danny Ings, both playing well. Obviously, there's always a question of if there's an injury, but we haven't had any injuries yet, touch wood. So there's the potential for us to get some money for Ashley Fletcher. He's been banging on about his contract. He's not very happy. He's submitted a transfer request. There we go. So if a player submitted a transfer request like Akpom did, maybe it's time we act, and maybe Ashley Fletcher's time has come to an end at the Boro. Which is sad. I like Fletcher, but we're getting better and better here at the Boro, and players will come, players will go, and I think we might have a couple of players. Obviously, we have Ibra, who we're going to sign, obviously, but I think there's a couple of players in here who might be able to play as well as a winger. They could maybe play as a striker. Let's have a look. Saka, no, he can't. Jota can, of course, but he might be a bit expensive in all fairness. So I think it's worth us listening to this offer. And I think we should try and push for 7.5 million if we can. LOSC. I think they're a French club, if I'm right. So they're offering 6.9. which is a decent offer. But we are going to propose something a little bit bigger. And we're going to say 7.5. That's as high as we're being advised, so we won't try and cheat them out of a deal. And, well, there we go. There we go. Well, that's as straightforward as it comes. Considering we're on strict negotiations, 7.5 million for Ashley Fletcher ain't bad. That's near enough what we bought him for, which is quite shocking, really, when you think of the money we wasted when we come down. So, albeit negotiations go well with Fletch and LOSC, he will be off in the summer. And, well, we've got a ton of emails. Origi's been in saying, not sure what's going to happen now, but I wanted to say I've really enjoyed my loan spell. I hope we can make it a permanent deal. Well, that is good to hear. Origi wants to stay. I want him to stay as well. I want to make it permanent, but I cannot find out how you bloody do it. I might have to give this a cheeky Google. Or a cheeky YouTube. I'm guessing we'll be given the option when the loan expires. But we definitely want to continue with Origi. But there's no option to do otherwise. So, yeah, we'll just keep our eyes open on that one. We've got a couple of scout reports which have come back. Of course, we added tons of players to the scout report in the last episode. So let's have a look. So one of them was Ansu Fati from Barcelona. He's a very young, exciting prospect. 41 million. I mean, if you can get him in, you know, what a player you've got there. You could maybe, you know, tempt Barca in with a big sell-on clause, as I think in a couple of years he's going to be unbelievable. But whether we can afford what they'll probably want, it won't be 41 mil. It will be something more than that. The release clause is 77 mil, so I'll leave him on there, but I don't think we're going to be able to sign him, unfortunately. Giovanni Reyra left mid from Dortmund, which we were advised. He looks very good and very affordable. 19-year-old left midfielder. Potential will be huge. Value's not very high. Wage is very good. He is definitely a consideration, although his release clause is massive as well. So Dortmund would be stupid if they didn't ask for 29.6 million. Sandro Tonali. Yep. Again, his wage is affordable. His value is not. I'll leave him there again. Can't see that happening though. Jude Bellingham. Definitely affordable. Again, there's a bit of a release clause there. His rating's decent, but there's potential, obviously, for him to just get better and better. He could be a solid investment. We could tempt Dortmund into a big sell-on clause with him as well. So Jude Bellingham is 100% doable. Scott McTominay, not bad. Good overall. Not bad value either. Affordable. Angel Gomez, affordable once again. In fact, Fletcher's just gone to LOSC. Oh, we could have went in for a swap. Can I go back? That's a good shout, you know. 73 rated, backup cam. He's going to the same club that Fletcher is. Damn it. Can I go back? Let me go back. We can't do anything about it. Damn it. We could have maybe tried to stick a swap deal in there. Damn it. That could have been a big opportunity to get Angel Gomez. But yeah, definitely doable. We'll leave him on there. Ethan Ampadu as a centre-back. We are needing a centre-back. He's not too bad. Rating's not too great. We're looking for more of a first-choice centre-back. Again, there's potential, but I'll leave him on there. Alban Lafont, a goalkeeper, a lot of you guys were telling me about, and he looks very good. He'd be a big signing, but doable, definitely, from Fiorentina. We'll leave him on there. Oliver Skip is our last scout report, and, well, he's easily affordable, but he's not better than what we have. So I'm going to remove him from the report. Oh, well, Burnley should be quite content then. We're going to thank Origi for his wonderful compliments, and we're going to give him a start. Fletcher's on his way out, so there's no need for us to involve him. In fact, let's bring Lewis Wing back in. Lewis Wing, of course, has... I don't know how long he's been back from his ACL, but there we go. He should be up to speed by now. And yeah, Morsey again. We'll start as Savills had a couple of Western Supers. And we'll give Mackin another 90 minutes as well to keep his development going. So yeah, let's head to the second game of the second game of the episode at home to Burnley.
But I think it'll be different today. I think they'll win the game.
Here's Memedy again.
Lowton with it.
Matt Lawton on the overlap. Good ball into Rodriguez.
And now can he keep calm?
Matt Lawton here.
Looks promising, this.
Coulson gets back out to Rodriguez.
Lowton.
Good build-up play, but Morsey with a good challenge.
Throw-ins given.
Like last season, we started to play Saville over Morsey quite regularly, and like in the Championship, Morsey's just come in. He's waited patiently. You know, he's not mourned that he's been on the bench for more games than he's started. And gradually, Morsey's took his chance time after time, and now he's probably a starter over George Saville. To be honest, Saville's had a couple of really poor, shaky games where he's made a few mistakes. Burnley, though, have started really well. That's ricocheted back to Chris Wood, and what a save from Bettinelli.
Well, he's given a corner, the referee.
Yeah, just ricocheted back to him off Coulson there. Maybe he should score, Chris Wood.
He could pick out a team.
McNeil. Oh, lovely stuff. Oh, and that's a big interception from Mackinnon. Falls back to Rodriguez, but the finish is a weak one. Burnley have started really well. Got to give it to them. Balassi. Ooh, just keeps hold of that. Here's McNair. Oh, Origi's made a good run. Divock Origi's in here. There's Balassi's free. If Roberts can find him. Oh, what a save. Balassi's there again. And a double save from the goalkeeper. Balassi made a great run. We couldn't find him early enough. Big chance for us there. Here's Dwight McNeil. Well in Spence. Great tackling on the right. And he's just got all the room in the world to run into. Haidara's going to chase him. Spence comes inside. Origi. Good feet from Origi. Plays in Sam Morsey. And Sam Morsey scores. I was just talking about him. He deserves a goal. And what a finish as well. I think a striker would be proud of a finish like that.
Well, here it is again.
Origi did really well to hold it up. Lovely ball through. And look at this for a finish from Morsey.
Doubt he was going to slot that way. Good finish.
Great goal from Sam. And that's put us in the lead.
The game slipping away here. He's showing his frustration on the sidelines.
Morsey. Here's Mackinnon. Spence. Roberts has made a great run. Great ball. Roberts, can he turn? Oh. It was deflected, actually. I thought it was a bit of a sliced finish from Roberts, but that might have been nestling in the bottom corner. That could be a vital block from their centre back. Burnley looking to maybe get something going at the end of the half. What a save from Bettinelli there as Chris Wood with a shot. Bettinelli saves with his feet. But Burnley are looking to end the half strongly here. Coulson that time with a really good interception. And Burnley have had their chances. Origi. Oh, can't quite get that off Ben Mee, but that's the half. Another well-contested half, but one which we thankfully this time go in with the lead.
You've certainly got to give this man high marks for his work up to this point, Lee.
Well, Derek, you're right.
Josh Brownhill.
Brownhill.
Well, they want that equal.
Burnley seeking an equaliser. It's been a very cagey second half, this one. Good ball into Woods, though. Burnley passing it around with Dwight McNeil now. Oh, McNair's read that well. And again, the second time, good play from Paddy. And are we finally going to make one of these counter-attackings work? It's through to Hudson-Odoi. And we know what happens when he's in on goal. Hudson-Odoi makes it 2. And keeps his unbelievable form going. It's took us some time to get that second goal. We've just not quite had the final ball. But who else but Hudson-Odoi in behind again. Great little interchange between him and Origi. And Hudson-Odoi never makes a mistake from there. Great strike.
It's a really lovely finish.
And a good finish. And I always felt like there was a danger Burnley could get back into this in the second half with the odd goal. But 2-0, I think, makes us feel a bit more comfortable as Roberts and Origi come on. And Ings will face another former club in Burnley. And we're going to put Tav as the number 10. As that's where he's meant to play, and he's not played there in a while. Chris Woods. McNair has cleaned up everything in midfield. He's had 2 unbelievable games. Ings combining well with Tav. Can Tav get on the score sheet? He's beaten me. And oh, he's put it wide. Off the post and wide from Tav. Just tried to bend it in the corner and it struck the post. Melendo, Hadara would really like a clean sheet if we can hold on to one. Barnes, though's done really well. What a block from Mackinnon. We really have got a good young defender on our hands with Jago Mackinnon. An academy product as well. They're back in though with a volley. And that's the difference between the two teams when it comes to the quality. Jermaine just completely scuffs that wide.
Well, Derek, I feel
3 minutes for Burnley to get themselves on the score sheet, but there's Jago Mackinnon again. Another unbelievable challenge. And you know what we're going to do? We've saw the run of Hudson-Odoi. He's got 2 men to pick out. One of them is former Burnley man Danny Ings, but again, the final ball is not good enough. That's the one thing that's let us down today, but it doesn't matter. It's a solid home win and a very, very good performance defensively. And we beat Burnley by 2-0. A clean sheet as well. So, a good result there at home to Burnley. We've got some more scout reports coming in, which we'll have a quick look at. So, Andre Lunin, very good goalkeeper. Value is quite high. Release clause is high, but we'll leave him on there. Mason Greenwood, nah, I'm not going to afford him. 20-year-old, he's gone to Leipzig. They've stuck a value of 51 million. That's a no-go, unfortunately. Eduardo Camavinga, not bad. Another very young player who with a lot of potential. Good sell on close to Frankfurt. His wage is really low as well, so he's definitely affordable. Diego Jota, no, not going to afford his wages as well as his value, so that's a no, unfortunately. Bukayo Saka, no, value's too high for him as well, 46 million. They're going to want a lot if they're going to tempt him away from Arsenal. James Justin, good shout this one, and yeah, very good shout indeed. I mean, you know, Spencer's absolutely smashing it at full-back, so I'm not in a real rush to buy a right-back, but he's there if we need him. And Daniel James, yeah, not bad value for an 80-rated player. My only issue is his wage, 90,000. I think's a bit much, so I'm gonna remove him. I think our highest paid player at the minute is Hudson-Odoi, 57, so bringing in a player on 90, I think that's going to screw up the wage structure. All the other players are going to start wanting a ridiculous amount of wages. So another win then at home. We're finishing the season strongly. We're up to 11th. We obviously have a game in hand on Leicester and Newcastle. So there's a potential we could catch them still as we sort of battle with Chelsea for a place in the top half. West Ham are 3 points behind us, but our goal difference is superior. So that's like an extra point in hand. What I will show you, though, is something I've not showed you guys much this season, is the player stats. So currently the top scorer, Mane, he looks like he's going to nick the golden boot off Harry Kane. 24 goals for him, 22 for Kane. You've got Fernandes up there, Barnes, who's probably one of the best young players in the Prem, as well as Jamie Vardy. Aguero's 6th. There is our Danny Ings up there in 7th. Good season for him with 16 goals. Hudson-Odoi is also creeping up there with 13 goals. And at the very bottom, is there a player at the bottom? No, there isn't. No, that's it for us. Assist-wise, though, Patrick Roberts is clinging on to the top spot ahead of Kai Havertz. He's on 11. Hudson-Odoi's up there again, though, with 8. We've got assisters all over the place. Balassi's got 6. Saville's got 6. McNair has even got 6. And then Jacob Murphy's on 5. And then clean sheets. We've not done too bad for a newly promoted team. I mean, Lloris is on 18. Miles ahead. They've had an unbelievable season, Tottenham. Then you've got Leno and Edison, De Gea, Kepa. I mean, he's rubbish, but Kepa's up there. Alisson, Patricio. So they are the top keepers in the league. But for Bettinelli to be 11th with 8, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And then, we're a very disciplined team. I would like to think we're not on either of the yellow cards or red cards. So, yeah, don't think we've had a single sending off in the league. We've only had the one in the cup with Grant Hall. So there we go then. We will move on to the third game in a second. Eberechi Eze. There is a scout report coming for him. He's very much affordable. He's not as good as Roberts, mind, but an option, definitely. And Ashley Fletcher has agreed to leave us for LOSC in the summer. Negotiations have gone well. And we will receive 5.5 million of the transfer budget, which is good. So thank you very much, Ashley Fletcher. But hopefully you can continue to have a good career in France, I believe. But before we do move on to the third game, as promised, we're going to split it up and we're going to go through some contract negotiations, as we have a lot of players who are within the last couple of months of their deal. So, starting off then with Jed Spence, he's someone we're definitely wanting to keep. I mean, his value is 8 million now. He's getting better and better. And, well, he's only on 1,600, so, I mean, he deserves an upgrade with his wage and his player role for what he's done for us. He's been incredible as Jed. So, I think it's safe to say that we will give him an improved squad role. I'm going to say important. Crucial normally indicates that they'll start every game. We might end up upgrading to another right back. I don't know. But it's a big upgrade from where he was. So, yeah, he's took that one with no problem. So they're wanting a 4-year deal, which is fine. That takes him until he's 25. And if we're still here when he is 25, he should be worth an absolute fortune if he keeps going. Even if I'm not Boro manager in 4 seasons' time, I'm sure he will be a moneymaker for the squad and for the club. They don't want a release clause, which I'm happy with. Sometimes with young players, they can whack a release clause on. I mean, we could whack a release clause on him, but it would be for something absolutely stupid, like 50 million or something. But if they don't want one, we won't accept one. So, wow, okay, let's see what they want. So they only want a wage of 5.6. Well, compare that to other players at the club. That is absolutely nothing. We've got players on 30, 40, 50 grand a week, and he's just as important, but he only wants 5.6k. Signing on bonus is tiny. I'm going to accept that. I'm mugging him off completely. I'm absolutely mugging him off for what he's doing at the club. But that's what they've offered us, so we're going to say yes. Jed Spence is more than happy to stick around with a deal that is more than affordable. He's going to be around the club for a long time. Next up, Paddy McNair, another one I definitely want to stick with. We've just got them lined up at the restaurant. One in after the other. Next. Come on, keep on coming. I've got my checkbook open. Ready to whack out whatever wage you want. So Paddy, I don't know what his current squad role is. But, you know, he's been a ever-present, really. To be fair, last season, he wasn't in as often. Savile and Morsey sort of played ahead of him. But this season, he's been an absolute humdinger in the starting 11. So an important squad role I think he'll be happy with. What is he, 27? So I think a 3-year deal would do us good for Paddy. Take him up to 30. Yeah. Seems legit. All good with the contract length. Want a release clause, and well, they do want an increase in his wages. He wants to go up to 30 grand a week, which, yeah, that's okay to be fair, considering what other players are on. I don't think that's too bad. A signing on bonus of 275 goals. He won't get, well, he might get 5 goals to be fair. So that's a doable target for Paddy. I am going to try and be a bit cheeky and just knock it down to 28. It's not really worth knocking down, is it? But it's an extra 20 grand on top of what he's on, to be honest. So every little helps. They should accept that. Oh no, he's adamant. I don't know if they've altered his bonus there, but oh well, you know what? We've just tried to be a bit stingy. We'll accept that. Paddy McNair has signed on 30 grand a week. He's going to have a good Christmas. Nice little boost for Paddy there, but happy to keep him around for the foreseeable. Next up, let's have a look. Mark Bowler. I don't know a Bowler. I think we've got young Gordon Banks, I think his name is. Is he called Gordon Banks? Oh, I've been calling him Gordon Banks. My God, Gabriel Banks. A young left back coming through. So, yeah, Bowler. I'm going to transfer list him. So, sorry, Mark, but I'm going to ship you out, mate. Now, this is a big one. Paddy Roberts. He is going to want an absolute fortune. He's 80 rated. He's just as crucial and as important as the Hudson-Odois, the top players. So I think we're gonna be paying around this. I think he's gonna look at Hudson-Odoi, Ings, Balassi, Murphy, and think, I want a piece of that pie. So we're gonna have to get our checkbook out, and we're gonna have to pay up here. I think for Paddy Roberts. Oh, we're in our office now. Oh right, okay. I've had enough of the restaurant. So this is gonna be interesting, of course. We added him to the squad manually at the start of the career mode. So he was never loaned back to City. He was automatically a permanent player. We automatically gave him a 2-year deal by the looks of it. I don't know what he's on now. I think he's on Crucial. So we're going to go with that. I honestly think anything less would upset him. So we're going to give Patrick Roberts a Crucial squad role. I mean, he's 80 rated. You look how much some of the 80 rated players are going for in FIFA. They're going for 20 to 30 mil, so we have got a player in our hands here You know, he's rated higher than Eze, higher than quite a few of the other cams. He's rated higher than Angel Gomez. So, need to take this seriously. So, length of his deal is 25. I'm happy for a 3-year deal. 28, he'll be in his prime. Obviously, it's quite sad doing this now because he's actually left us and gone to Derby on loan now. As it's not worked out for him second time round at the Boro, but I want to keep you. I'm not happy with that. Don't want a release clause. And well, here we go then. So we were expecting somewhere around this mark. 45k a week, 410k signing on bonus, and a goal bonus, which he will probably hit quite easily. So I might counter that and just say, you're better than that, Paddy. 10 goals. And as for his wage, I mean, you look at what the other players are on and you think, well, we're going to be mugging him off otherwise. So, you know what, Paddy? I'm not going to fuss around. I'm going to agree to that. And I'm just going to give him more of a doable target. A slightly tougher target for him. Well, it's not what he was hoping for. Was he hoping for an easier bonus? That's what you offered me. But there we go. Patrick Roberts is signed on, and that's a key player that we've kept hold of there. And his wage isn't too bad. I was expecting a little bit higher than that. So, Bowler, obviously, we're going to transfer list Ben Little. We're going to transfer list Lewis Wing. He has been out with an injury. Could we sign a better backup central attacking midfielder? Possibly. But for now, Tav's a backup cam. His squad role is important. I don't know if we can give Wing an important squad role. And he's only 71 rated. So I think maybe we might transfer this Lewis Wing. Just thinking of we're wanting to get players who are at least 75 rated to improve the squad. I don't see the point in signing him on for a new deal, especially with at least an important squad role, because he's not going to get that. So I'm sorry, Lewis. Transfer list, Jimmy. I'm so sorry. Dyke Steele. Oh, Dyke Steele. Oh, I love Dyke Steele. I'm sort of in the same boat as with Lewis Wing. He's an important role. He does play when Spence isn't fit. So you know what? I think, whereas with a central attacking midfielder with Wing, we've got Tav as a backup to Roberts. We haven't got as many backup right backs. And I'm not really prioritising a full-back in the transfer market. So I think it's worth signing on Dyke Steele. I can't see him breaking the bank too much. So, but his squad role will have to change. I'm going to try rotation. I don't know if that's going to upset him, because Spence is without doubt the number one. Oh, well, he's just happy to be here. That vintage Boro meme when Dyke Steele was signed and he said every player wants to play for Middlesbrough. There's an example right there. He's probably going to accept whatever we throw at him. He's a lovely lad, Dyke Steele. I like Dyke Steele. So contract wise, he's 25. I'll only give him a 2-year deal, I think. He's very much signing on as a backup, so. Two-year extension should be. You should be happy with that. Yep. Goes without saying with the release clause. Salary. I can't see Dijksteel wanting too much. He could throw us a curveball, though. Well, the ball's in our court. Well, that's. I'm happy with that. He's on 4.4 at the minute. Let's not completely disrespect him. I think if we double that and we give him 8.8, signing on bonus. 200. Yeah, 200k for signing on. Yeah. What bonus do you give a fullback? Clean sheets, maybe? Oh my god! He's walked out! Holy moly! Dijksteel's... Oh my god! Wow. He's took it as an insult. 8.8k. We've doubled his wage and he's insulted. Insulted and he's walked out. Well, I think Anthony Dijksteel might have... We might have lost him. That's the first time that's happened. Dijksteel has stormed out of a contract negotiation. And, well, maybe we might have to sign a backup fullback. Because I think Dijksteel's just... I think he's just put the nail in the coffin of his Boro contract right there. Well, there we go. Origi, I mean, I want to sign him permanently, but we haven't got the option to still. So let's just see what happens with him. Conor Malley, well, he's already on the transfer list. So it's just up to Nathan Wood. And yeah, I'm happy to sign on Nathan Wood. Another good young centre-back. Sort of being outshone by Mackinnon this season, but... So, sporadic. Is that what they want? I completely missed that. That might have been what they wanted. Sporadic? Is that what they... Yeah. Yeah. I completely missed that. I should pay attention. I'm negotiating a contract here, for God's sake. Four-year deal. Yeah, for a young kid, that seems doable quite easily. Yep. I've just realised we need to sign Origi for 18 million. We don't have 18 million. That could be an issue. That's only just occurred to me. That's a problem. So he's on £700 a week. 3k. He might walk out, you know. 5k. Okay, we'll give him 5k. 100,000 signing on. And just to make sure we don't have another walkout. Clean sheets. If you get 5 clean sheets, you can have another 100k. Sounds good for the young man. Yeah. So there we go. We've signed on Nathan Wood for another couple of seasons. See what comes of him. And that is it for contract negotiations. So we've rattled through quite a few there. So Boro, Little, transfer listed. Wing, transfer listed. Origi, we're going to sign permanently. I flip and hope. Dijksteel he's just walked off. And Malley, transfer listed. So there we go. Quite a few players' contracts will be up next season, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So there we go. Contract negotiations done. We will get money for Fletcher when the window opens. So we should be able to afford Origi with the agreed 18 million. So let's finish the season then, guys. That is all. So as for the starting lineup, as always, lack of fitness in the central defence with Ben Gibson not 100%. So I thought, you know what, Nathan Wood has had to sit and watch Mackinnon have a lot of game time recently. He's just signed a new deal, so let's give him a game. So yeah, Nathan Wood will start alongside Grant Hall, Spence and Coulson, and then McNair, Morsey are becoming a formidable partnership in midfield. And yeah, I've decided to play Murphy on the left with Ings starting up front. Well, Roberts has won that, but then give it straight back to Fabian Delph.
Possibilities inside the box.
Here's somebody. I am not going to attempt to pronounce his name, but he's got a good cross in there as Spence comes across. Tsigankov. I'm going to stop now. Tsigankov, there we go. Thanks, Derek Ray. The first time ever you've pronounced a player's name properly. Fabian Delph's in! And Everton have started well. And Fabian Delph with a great finish. That teaches me to take the mick out of players' names. But Fabian Delph
Well, we can take another look at this now, and he's
on the edge of the area or just inside the area takes a touch. Yeah, no one was close enough to him.
Again, albeit from a different angle.
And that's a good pick out from Fabian Delph, to be fair to him. Great finish.
Well, the manager's showing signs of frustration. They need to improve if they're going to get something out of this game, Derek.
And our good home form of late
On they go again.
is put to the test here.
From Boro,
Everton lead.
needs to be. Grant Hall. Well, sometimes we have a field
Morsey.
relegation battle, sometimes not at all.
Roberts.
Barring a miracle,
Well, he's doing so well in a tight space.
in terms of who's going down now, Lee.
Hall finds Danny Ings. Sam Morsey. Here is Danny Ings, back to goal. Tries to turn Fabian Delph. And Danny Ings with a great goal.
That could be a huge turning point in this
And we're straight back into the game.
momentum.
Really good play. Tidy football from us with blue shirts surrounding
As we can see,
every player. Morsey with an assist. Great little turn from Danny Ings. And what a powerful finish. Pickford, well, he could have done better there, Pickford, but it was such a powerful shot from Ings. We weren't behind for long. It's one each. Delph with a good ball out to Vindal. Everton's squad's another one that's changed quite a lot
Fabian Delph.
in the 2 seasons so far. Gylfi Sigurdsson's in the box, and Gylfi Sigurdsson drills it into the corner.
No less than
And Everton are back in front.
Derek, it's like
What a finish.
he's one of the players all of a sudden. Great stuff.
Goes over to celebrate with the manager, but I mean,
Many ways he
for all the good midfield play we've had, they're finding themselves free on the edge of the box. Morsey comes across, but that
how strong was he?
is an unbelievable finish.
The defenders and getting
Low into the corner.
the goal.
Bettinelli had absolutely no chance. And well, we're in a game here. It's 2-1 to Everton.
Hudson-Odoi.
Spence finds Hudson-Odoi. Roberts. Morsey's made a good run. What a find that is from Patrick Roberts. Sam Morsey's in, and Sam Morsey scores.
A magnificent
That's the quality of Patrick Roberts. Great run from Morsey, who is just what a run he's on.
Well, as we see again,
And you spot the run, but that ball from Roberts is perfect.
keeper
And Morsey with a finish
chance to think.
like a striker again. Pickford was just rooted to the spot, didn't move a muscle, as that just curved its way into the far corner. Well, there's no need for a cam when you've got a player like Roberts. And luckily now he's signed on and will be a Boro player for the foreseeable future.
and it's level
And he's just
again
played a
here.
big part in that equaliser.
Being put through something of an
2-2.
angle.
Well, it's been a goal fest so far. What a great game it's been.
Alan.
And Everton are coming again here straight away. Ball in from Delph. It is blocked. Grant Hall tries to stand him up and Bettinelli makes a good save.
Well, he was so
Petkovic has hardly been in the game for Everton.
wonderful save.
Hall did well to sort of block that and then recover and make it hard for him second time around. But again, I mean, this is another really well contested game. They're going to play this short, I think.
Short corner it is.
Hudson-Odoi is out. Falls to Gordon. Jacob Murphy now on the cover and
Interception looked routine.
Paddy McNair
It wasn't.
in the right place at the right time, and now Roberts. He's turned them with his pace. Can he find Danny Ings? Perfectly timed run. Ings is in behind Davies, and Ings makes sure and puts us in the lead. Danny Ings.
He's celebrating.
And it's another assist for Patrick Roberts.
Well, here it is
It was
again.
just a case of timing the pass.
They were so
Ings
quick to get
timed his run as well, and
full advantage of the time.
you just have to hold off the defender,
Finished two.
pass it into the corner. And that's 2 for Ings. And we lead for the first time.
Well, he can't let the frustrations get.
What a game.
Derek, his players need help here.
Action from the Premier League.
Morsey with a good interception.
TV.
Plays it out to Murphy.
Facing Norwich.
Roberts.
Yeah, atmospheres made.
Hudson-Odoi.
Derek,
Oh, doesn't quite have the pace that time.
The hosts really haven't had too much of the ball, but they won't mind. They're winning this game.
Good ball out though to
Because their
Gordon.
counter-attack is absolutely fantastic.
Here's Vindal. Here's Dolberg, who's just come on. Skips past Grant Hall. What a finish! The quality of goals in this game have been incredible. And Dolberg has just absolutely drilled one into the far corner. And it's 3-3. I mean, you just got
You can see it's all
on the wrong side of Grant Hall here. And,
from blitz.
I mean, that is an absolutely unreal finish.
Another view of that goal.
What a goal that is from the substitute. This game, who knows what's going to happen next?
Why not? They've
3-3. 15 for Dolberg. And we're level again.
Level again here. This has been quite the roller coaster ride. And we're inside the final 30 minutes.
Spence going for a little run. Nathan Wood. Ings, who, well, he fancy a hat-trick. Here's Roberts. Roberts is in. And it's 4-3.
Celebrating.
He deserves a goal. Taps the Boro badge, having signed his new contract. Patrick Roberts is having the time of his life out there. Him and Ings have been on fire today. And it's too easy, really. Ings drags out the defender. Roberts is in way too much room, and that's an emphatic finish into the roof of the net. He loves it, doesn't he? He's been all over the place today, Patrick Roberts, and he's gave us the lead again. And there's still half an hour to go, and it's 4-3.
And with plays.
Oh, see, we're going to play it short to Grant Hall.
Ings.
Ings,
Real
that's
defensive
wasted.
there. Inside the final 2 minutes of this contest.
Can Everton grab their 4th goal of the game
Good looking.
and equalise? Looking for Vindal, he'll keep this in.
Will they go chasing the game?
Good cross in. Bettinelli, is he going to come for it? He doesn't. He
Getting his fingers.
has to punch it over the bar.
Time is not on their side.
Everton have a corner.
Could help their prospects as they look for an equaliser.
Is there going to be one final sting in the tail in this absolutely crazy game? Vindal whips this one in. There is a header there, and
Goalkeeping.
good save from Bettinelli. Oh my God, what's Bettinelli done there? His goal kick, I think, has hit
Rodriguez.
Coulson, and James with a shot.
To hang on to that one.
That was saved. Well, I think I pressed circle to clear it with Coulson because he was on the line. Luckily, it was saved anyway. And then
And winning it back.
the clearance was Bettinelli and circle activated that. And he booted it against Coulson. I think he'd have cleared it off the line anyway, but I think we're going to hang on here for what will be a very, very good 3 points. Morsey, well, he's not that good. But there we go, the final whistle goes in this 7-goal thriller. And it's another good home win at home. Another good win at home. We've beaten a very good team in Everton by 4-3.
Well, as we run the rule over this man's work, positive after positively.
Well, we only had 4 shots on target in that game, weirdly enough, and we scored with every single one of them. Everton had a lot more shots on goal, but we proved clinical. And another win then, as this really strong end of the season continues. I mean, look at the recent record. You take away the Arsenal defeat in the... Well, obviously, you take the cup defeat out since the start of April. Well, to be fair, since the Watford defeat, actually. We beat Villa in the league, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 wins in the last 7, 2 draws and 1 defeat. I think that is in the last 8 games. So strong end of the season for us. That does put us up to 9th. So I remember episodes back, we said Newcastle would be a good target. Well, we've hit that target and we are above them in the table. And there is the potential that we could finish 7th, which would be an unbelievable end of the season, considering where we were and where we looked like we'd be. So by beating Everton, that keeps them within touching distance. And we could finish in 7th. And I don't think 7th will guarantee a place in Europe. I think that would only happen if one of the top 6 won the domestic cup, which means their place is already in Europe. There is a way that 7th can get a place in Europe, but I don't think we'll get European football. And plus, I mean, we need Chelsea and Everton to both lose effectively. To be fair, though, Everton have Liverpool, Chelsea have Arsenal. So there is a very, very good chance here that we could overtake the both of them if we can win on the final day of the season. And we do play Norwich, who are relegated already. So, yeah, we could still finish a very, very handy 7th place, which I would never have expected. But we've finished the season so strongly, it could happen. At the same time, though, if all goes wrong, we could still finish as low as 11th. So, that, you know, still a lot of movement potentially on the final day. Coulson has been given a... I wanted to let you know that Hayden Coulson has made excellent progress across the elements of the most recent development plan. I believe he's now reached all targets that we established for him. I recommend you take a look at his numbers, of course, use your own judgment, so we can perhaps look to establish new performance targets for him. I would suggest we can now aim to develop further elements of his game or other elements of his game. Let me know if you want to discuss this face-to-face. Well, Coulson's doing well across the board, and now is doing well with his development. He's unhappy with his contract, actually. He probably wants to be on more money. He probably deserves to be. Yeah, we can tweak him in a couple of ways. Attacking wing-back. Is that what he's on now? That might be what he's currently on. I'm not too sure. That's 64 weeks away, though. So we'll leave him on that. But yeah, Coulson's absolutely smashing it at the moment. So then, let's finish it then, guys. Let's head to the final game of the season and potentially finish in 7th place, which would be awesome. We play a team who are already relegated, and that is Norwich City. So the team for Norwich then, it's the same team that played in the last game, near enough. I mean, Morsey has to start. Bolassi's come in. Roberts and Ings were unbelievable in the last game, so they simply have to start as well. So no real changes. But let's finish the season on a high and maybe even get in to the top 7. Here's Buendia.
Options in the centre.
Well, someone needs to come out to Max Aarons, who's been allowed to jog his way into the box. And he just took too long
Well, something has happened.
to pass that off. And
A goal has been scored.
Hudson-Odoi has found Yannick Bolasie, who is in behind here. Bolasie drags his shot wide. What an opportunity. Defender just come across to put him off in time. Gibbo,
Promising move from
good ball into Roberts again, who's twisting, turning. Finds Ings. Ings holds off his man. Can he turn and finish? You're damn right he can.
They've been pushing for it.
He's on fire. And he's ending the season pretty much as he started it. And it's the Roberts-Ings combo once again. Holds off the defender. Takes a touch. Fires it back across the goal.
Well, let's take another look at that goal, shall we?
It's been really interesting to see how him and Origi have done alongside one another. And Origi looked like he was starting to get on top and have a run in the team, but then Ings has just turned it on in the last couple of games and has 15th of the season. Dowell. Oh, he's beat McNair there. And Norwich, good play from them. They're in behind, and that's not far away. Good football from them. Norwich. Dowell was in. And I tell you what, he's not far off finding the top corner with that. Very close.
I believe there's been a goal in the City game. Alan can fill us in.
It's a goal for Manchester City. It's been scored by Kevin De Bruyne. The ball was heading straight to the keeper's gloves when the defender got his shoulder in the way.
Nodded on, thankfully there.
24 minutes.
Spence
1-1.
finds Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi dances between one, between two. And Roberts just can't square it to Ings, who was waiting for a tap-in.
Corner here.
There is Ings. He's finished 19 goals in 37 games. That's, well, one every 2 games. Pretty much a record you can't argue with when we bought him at the start of the season.
Over it comes.
Ings is up for this one, and that's off the post. Great header from Danny Ings. And his header just bounced off the post and stayed out as Norwich cling on. And we come mighty close to getting a second.
In the Liverpool match, Alan.
Let's see
Yeah, not bad for the
together and get themselves back into it.
the worst team at home in the league. Elsewhere, though, there's some cracking games on the final day, by the way. City United, that's a Manchester derby. And there's a Merseyside derby, Liverpool-Everton as well. And then Arsenal-Chelsea to top it off. But unfortunately, both them fixtures aren't going for us. Everton are beating Liverpool against the odds, you could say. And Chelsea are also beating Arsenal, who we know all about. So, at the moment, we ain't moving anywhere in the table, and the teams above us are doing what they have to. But it could all change in the second half.
Chelsea, 52 minutes played.
Well,
2-0.
Chelsea are now 2 up at the Emirates. And now look really likely that they're going to go on and win the game there. Which isn't good news for us.
As you can see, the visitors haven't had too much.
But this game is far from a done deal for us anyway. Here's Hudson-Odoi.
Counter-attack play has been absolutely fantastic.
Bolassie's in makers of space, and Bolasie with a good header.
And they just need to...
And you'd like to think that will be that. Great header from Yannick there. And a good ball from Hudson-Odoi.
Well, here's the replay, and it all starts with the
Picks him out.
box, just begging for someone to get on the end of it. And what a great finish!
Great header.
Connection with the
Really good connection from Bolasie.
no chance. Fantastic goal.
Buendia. Let's get an update from the Etihad Stadium, where a goal has been scored. Alan McAnally.
It's a second goal for Manchester United. 58 minutes played, 2-1.
Marcy plays it through to Roberts. He plays it through to Danny Ings. And there's the third. And Norwich are just starting to fall to pieces now. Danny Ings gets his 20th of the season. And it all come from the ball from Marcy, beat the midfield. And the Roberts-Ings combination works again.
Well, he certainly wasn't messing around, was he? Absolutely smashes it past the keeper. It's a really lovely finish.
Moritz Leitner deserves credit for winning the ball back.
McNair winning the ball in midfield. Looking to get us going again. We're hungry for more here. Jed Spence finds himself in the middle. What's he doing there? Oh dear. That's why I never choose to finish with Jed Spence. I always opt to try and pass it on to Hudson-Odoi because, well, that is why.
A chance to whip it in. Leitner.
Norwich looking to just get their second half going here. They've not been anywhere near as effective in this second half as they were in the first. McNair knows that Hudson-Odoi will always get that ball if you play it in behind. Picks out Roberts, who chests it down. And scissor kicks it into the bottom corner. And runs straight over to the Boro fans. Oh, he's telling them to calm down. Oh, Roberts.
Well, here it is again. It's all about the pace in transition.
Who do you think he is?
To get out from the back and then just look at
Chests it. Scissor kick. Bottom corner.
Absolutely smashes it beyond the keeper. There's just no stopping that.
He's just showing off at this point.
Well, there's nothing better for a manager when a plan comes together. Total satisfaction.
And with his 9th of the season, the duo of Roberts and Ings will make way, as will Yannick Bolasie. Them two have had an outstanding season, and they'll make way for Tav and Origi. Marcy.
Oh, that's a fine pass.
Picking out Hudson-Odoi again.
How about the cross?
Who keeps it in. Crosses it in.
Fantastic.
Almost finds Murphy. Marcy does shoot. Oh, and they almost give it to Tav there.
And the referee has decided to add on a minimum of 5 minutes.
Final 5 minutes of the season. And what an end to the season it's been. We've hit really good form, beaten some really good teams, and we've been defensively much better, apart from obviously the Everton game. But it looks like another clean sheet for us today.
Sam Morsey.
And we're going to finish the season strong.
Tavernier.
We will not be seeing Norwich
Quality.
next season. They will do what they always do and yo-yo their way back down to the Championship and probably get promoted again. But, yeah. What a game. What a season we've had. We're ending it in style. Hudson-Odoi finds Origi. The referee's not going to allow us to have our last attack. But it doesn't matter. We've ended the season with a very impressive 4-0 win away at Norwich City.
Never a good idea. Doing it at home makes it even worse. The fans must be really disappointed by the team's efforts. They just can't win a game.
So that's the season over with then. Norwich didn't even have a shot on target in that last game. And elsewhere, it looks like results, unfortunately, didn't quite go our way. And yeah, we finished in 9th place, which is a very good finish to the season. We have got a notice there of Origi's loan set to expire. We know this. I want to make it permanent, but I've not been given the option yet. Bowler, an approach has been made by Bristol City on a pre-contract agreement. So it's up to him whether he wants to approach them on a free, which is absolutely fair enough. And, well, look at that. Holy mackerel. For where we finished in the Premier League, we have earned £144 million. We better get some of that back in the transfer budget, Steve Gibson. I will be furious if we don't. But yeah, let's have a little look then at where we finished following that result. Top half finish for us, better than what we ever could have imagined, really. Tottenham do win the Premier League by 10 points in the end. What a season. Lost only one game. Manchester City was second ahead of Man United in third. Arsenal made it up to fourth, knocking out Liverpool, who will have to settle for the Europa League following that final defeat against Everton on the final day. Wolves are sixth with Everton seventh. Chelsea recovered to eighth after a horrible start. And we are up to ninth. And we do beat the Geordies as well, which is always good. As for the bottom half, relegated, as the three have been for quite a while now. Norwich are bottom. What a shocking season they've had. Look at that goal difference. Leeds do get off the bottom of the table with a last day draw against Sheffield United. Watford go right back down to the Championship. And, well, I'm going to fast forward a little bit just to see what happens with the other domestic trophies. Wing has been approached by Augsburg on a pre-contract agreement. And Boro will join Bristol City. They've agreed he will join them at the end of the season. Conor Malley has approached us directly and claims you've made no attempt to resolve his contract. I have already transfer listed him, so he's just going to have to sit and wait for a club to come in for him, I'm afraid. And the same, I think, has came for Lewis Wing. He's transfer listed and he looks like he's going to be approached by Augsburg. We will keep skipping another couple of days. Lewis Wing has now left the club. He will go to Augsburg when his deal expires. So thank you very much for your service, Lewis Wing. And yeah, when does the season officially end? I think we have June as well, don't we? So we will fast forward into June. And yeah, we're just made aware once again of Malley and Little. They're both being released. Dykesdale, we could try and approach him again. Will he want to speak to us? Well, he is willing to speak to us about a contract again, so we'll give this a second try. He walked out of the last one, of course. So, they have came forth with demands this time. And, well, we offered him 8k last time. That's probably why he walked out. He wants 15.5. I don't think he's worth 15.5. I'm going to be honest. As a backup right back, I don't think he's worth that. I mean, Jed Spence is on less, and he's starting, and he's got a better overall as well. I'm sorry, Dykesdale. We might have another huge disagreement on our hands. I'm going to offer you 12. Signing on bonus, I'll just drop that to 140. And that's quite a hefty bonus for 10 appearances, but I'll leave it in. I do feel like Max Aarons could be a potential backup for what we looked at. Again, they're pushing for 15.5. I do not think a backup right back is worth 15.5. I really like Dykesdale, but I just cannot settle for that. 13 will be my final offer. I mean, it's not like Dykesdale's a bad player, and he is a decent backup. And they are willing to settle on 13k. I still think that might even be a bit steep. But that was as far as we were willing to go, and they finally give in. So Dykesdale will stay with us. And that is it. We're past the 31st of May now, so I'm guessing the players who were out of contract have now left. As probably have the players who were on pre-contract agreements with their other clubs. Have they gone? No, they haven't, not yet. So that will happen in the next couple of weeks. We've made the club an absolute fortune with where we finished. Having a quick look at the domestic success. Youth development, we failed with the youth academy, signing only one player. There wasn't many players who really looked that good, to be fair, so we haven't met that one. Brand exposure, however, we've hit one of the two, so I think they'll be relatively happy with that. We didn't sign two players from North America, but we did smash the 7 games without defeat at home. We did that 20 of the games at home. Financial, it says there 3 out of 3 complete, yet it's not ticked it off, so I don't know what's going on there. Sell 2 players and sign 1 crucial. We did that, but that's not been ticked off yet. Maybe it will be at the end of the season. Domestic, we smashed every single one, both short-term and long-term. Premier League, we avoided relegation, finishing 9th. We smashed the FA Cup round of 32 goal by reaching the semi-final, and they wanted us to finish mid-table within 2 seasons. We've done that within 1. So they should be more than happy with that. And yeah, let's have a little look elsewhere. What's gone on? Mostly in the Championship. Who's going to be joining us next season? So Brighton and Fulham will be making immediate returns to the Premier League. They've absolutely smashed the Championship, well and truly. Southampton missed out, though, by quite some distance. That's almost a 30-point gap. The playoffs will be contended by Southampton, Forest, Brentford, and once again, Bournemouth will be trying to get through to the Premier League, second time of asking. And getting relegated is Wycombe, Fleetwood, and Luton. Sunderland stayed up. Good for them. I wonder if the FA Cup final has been played yet. Obviously, we're rooting for West Ham. If Arsenal won, I will be gutted. That could have been us! Arsenal win the FA Cup for the 30,000th time, beating West Ham 2-1. Congratulations to Arsenal. Carabao Cup was won by Liverpool this season, beating Chelsea in the final. And I guess it's worth a cheeky look. In Europe, so Liverpool won the Champions League last year. Arsenal won the Europa League. Liverpool won the Super Cup. And wow! Arsenal won the Champions League. What a season they've had. I don't feel so bad about losing to them now. They've won the Champions League, beating PSG on penalties. That is insane. Beating City in the semis. PSG beat Bayern. Wow. Fair play to Arsenal. Europa League, which is where we want to be. That was won by Napoli. They beat Roma in the semi-final. Not an English club in sight, really. And the World Cup is coming up in the summer, which is cool. Hopefully we'll win that. Wouldn't that be nice? So that's that then, guys. That is it for Season 2. I know it's been a crazy, jam-packed final season episode here with the season finale. But we have rattled through the final 4 games of the season. And we've got through them unbeaten, winning 3, drawing 1. A lot of players are going out. Hopefully we'll get a decent transfer budget to bring in some quality in the summer. And next time you see us, it will be for Season 3, which I'm going to call Something for Europe. Suggest me some names in the comments, but it's going to be Something for Europe. Going for Europe? No. Something for Europe. Gunning for Europe? I don't know, but it's going to be Europe related anyway, because that's the goal next season. But Season 3 will be coming very, very soon, where we will try and bolster the squad even further. There'll be a lot of transfer negotiations going on in the next episode, and probably some pre-season as well, before we gear up for a 3rd season in the Premier League. But until then, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support this series has had. It's been by far the most successful of the channel. Danny Ings finishes with Player of the Month, which is awesome to see that. Wow, Sam Morsey was on there as well. Good for him. But yeah, don't know who Player of the Year will be. I don't know when that will be announced. But yeah, thank you so much for the unbelievable support once again that we've had on this series. I'm hoping it will continue to be just as strong in Series 3. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. And do feel free to leave a comment in the section below. But until next time, thank you once again. I'll see you in the next one.